inside line on that too. You know, them
Damn.
I love the Diaz brothers.
Nate Diaz is on a new level right now. He's fighting Donald Cerrone this weekend.
That's gonna be a good fight.
Woo! Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
That's
What's
the
next?
co-main event
So
to me.
is Nick and GSP gonna get in the ring or?
Well, GSP just had serious ACL reconstruction surgery, and he had the one. I had both different kinds of surgery, and I'm very surprised that he elected to get the patella tendon graft, which is, from what I understand, is not the best move because it can compromise the patella tendon because it takes a third away of the patella. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. With the healed much quicker, it was much easier, much less invasive. I was back to normal quicker. Everything about it was quicker. So I think he's in for a long rehab. So GSP, I think, is in for at least a 9-month rehab, and that's being conservative. He really probably should last 10 or maybe even a year. A year is a smart, calculated move because he doesn't need money. You know, he's a young man. It would be good.
They're
to
gonna let
rest
him hold
up.
the belt that long?
No, they will not. They're
Yeah.
going to have an interim championship on February 4th. That's where shit gets hairy. Because GSP has to sit on the sidelines with a fucked up knee while Carlos Condit and Nick Diaz are going to war. That's going to be chaos. That's 5 rounds for the interim title. So all that time, GSP has to fight with the demons of pushing it too fast because a lot of guys, when they get that ACL surgery, they fuck around. They feel good, so they start rolling real early. Like Ed Short Fuse Herman was one of the most recent ones. He got his ACL done. He starts, rehab, and he's feeling pretty good, so he takes jiu-jitsu class or takes kickboxing class, whatever he was doing. Pop! It goes out again. Now you've got to go through surgery again and go through the whole goddamn process.
That's crazy.
And he came through it and he got out of the woods, but it's a 16-month process now. Now you're dealing with, another 10 months on top of that. So whenever George and Nick Diaz get it on, who the fuck knows now? Now it's a matter of how smart does GSP play out the surgery? How much damage was there really? What about soft tissue? The soft tissue can make it difficult for him to shoot and might make shit swell up. Soft tissue is a lot of times the bigger issue than the actual ligaments themselves. Because they can replace the ligaments. They don't really replace soft tissue. It becomes like a real irritating problem. They even use like fake pads. They put fake pads inside of knees now, like synthetic pads. These are fucking their knees up, man.
I have to see that fight though.
Oh, fuck yeah, you have to. That's chaos, man. The real question is, GSP is like this fucking goddamn super athlete, GSP is like one of the best athletes that we've ever seen in the UFC as far as like explosion, the ability to keep up a certain pace and pound guys and take guys down and implement his own game plan. But Nick Diaz has got the craziest fucking cardio the MMA world has ever seen. This dude swam.
This is a tough cat.
He's tough as shit. Bro, he swam from Alcatraz twice.
For fun.
Just shut the fuck up and sit down. You ain't willing to swim from Alcatraz twice. People don't even understand the amount of confidence that guy must have in his wind in comparison to anybody else. Right. So he'll take you on a race that you can't complete. He'll go, okay, we're just going to run 9 miles an hour and see how long you can do this for. Because I could do it for a day. Right. He could do it for a day. Crazy. He could run hills all day, then get on a bike and ride for a couple hours, then get in the ocean, swim. And that cardio that he has worked diligently to build up has become like an extra weapon that a lot of people don't recognize. But you see it in his fights, man. He takes dudes into these crazy battles. He talks shit to them. He gets them all emotional. And then by 5 minutes, they're fucking done. You know what? And he's just warming up. He's just warming up. He's like, what, bitch? What, bitch? He's like in their face popping shots on them, hitting them 50% and they can't stop it. And it's the most infuriating thing to them. You watch guys like implode mentally. And a big weapon that he's using is that crazy cardio. He's got some next level cardio.
That's what I tell people. He swam Alcatraz for
twice.
Fun. For fun. That's not even for training. That was for fun.
And you know what? That's the place where you really have to worry about great whites. That's where they fucking breed.
Oh, yeah.
They breed up there. Like, that's a real issue. Like, there's a lot of great
it's also
whites.
some of the cold. It's like
cold as fuck.
It's some of the coldest water you can get in North America.
Coming down from Alaska, man.
Yeah.
It's cold as fuck. It's freezing.
That's funny.
And he's a bad motherfucker, dude. He's tough. There's a level of toughness that guy has that very few human beings will ever achieve. There's a level of just sheer toughness that you don't understand. You don't understand until you experience it, especially until you watch it live. When I watched him fight BJ Penn live, you know, you get a. I mean, I've seen Nick fight. I've called a bunch of his fights in his previous career in the UFC. But to watch him, like first of all, he's not even fucking 30 yet. Okay, so he's not even in his prime yet. But I watched that performance that he put on against BJ Penn. I'm like, nobody ever dragged BJ Penn around like this before. No. Not standing up. You know, dudes have taken him down and held on to him like GSP and beat him up. Yeah. You know, that's what GSP did. But this is not what Nick Diaz did. Nick Diaz kept him up and beat him up. And nobody ever did that before. Just wore him out.
That was a tough fight.
Fuck, I was hard to watch.
Such a fan of both of those
guys,
dudes. Yeah,
both guys. I
BJ
love
to me
BJ Penn, man.
I for me, BJ is Jordan, just because of what
One
he's
of the
done,
all-time greatest.
how he's gone up and down.
Yeah.
There ain't no fight. That's why some cats that I just can't. I mean, as much as I won't get in the octagon with any of them. But if you ain't gone up and down and moved around and fought, the guy above you and the guy below you, it's kind of like you ain't BJ, man.
One thing about BJ's clean. BJ's not taking juice to go up in weight. When BJ went up in weight, he ate donuts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. BJ ate cheeseburgers and shit and fought Lyoto Machida with a big belly. He didn't give a fuck. He's legit, And so when you go back and you look at like all the fighters that have ever competed in MMA, and you look at who's been the most courageous, most willing to fight anybody, he's not a 170. He's so much smaller than guys like Anthony Johnson. It is hard to even wrap your head around the fact that they could ever be considered in the same weight class. The fact that those guys can somehow or another be in the same weight class is utterly, completely ridiculous. And Johnson just moved up to 85 for his next fight finally. But BJ's never really been a 170. His natural weight should probably be like 160, 165, somewhere around that. And he can cut to 155, but it's miserable. But at 170, they're just too big. It's just a physical, like when he fought John Fitch. It was a good fight for the first 2 rounds. The third round, Fitch just overpowered him, over-wrestled him, got a hold of him, and beat him up for like the last few minutes of the fight was just a beating. But BJ's an all-time great, without a doubt. That guy's a savage, You go back and watch some of his early fights. Watch his fight with Diego Sanchez. Holy shit. When he got in that kind of shape, when he was with the Marinoviches, and he was just, apparently the training that they were putting him through, though, was like so bad, he couldn't get home, he couldn't pick up his baby. Like, he would get home from training, and he had nothing left. He had nothing. And they would just break him. Because the whole idea is your body's got to get the signal, like, listen, bitch, we're doing this every day. You need to speed up these cycles. You need to get us on some, like, high-level shit right now. We need to pick up the pace. We need to fucking make our heart rate lower. We need to fucking make our muscle tissue regeneration quicker. And the only way to do that is to break dudes down, And the guys like the Marinoviches, they'll put you through something that you wish you were dead. And so BJ got at the end of that, man, was just a super athlete when he went out against Diego Sanchez.
That was crazy.
An in-shape BJ Penn like that, god damn, that BJ Penn with abs, that's scary as fuck. That's scary as fuck, but you can't keep that going for so long. You can only keep that going for so long. It's hard. It's hard to keep that kind of pace, that wishing you were dead for 8 weeks out of every training cycle, I mean, I'm just talking shit. I don't even appreciate it on the level that he has because he went through it, but that guy at that shape, in that shape, that BJ Penn, I put up against almost anybody in the history of that division.
No doubt.
It's a crazy sport, man. It's the most guttural, real sport of all time, man. You've been ringside for a lot of them, man.
There was a period where I didn't miss one, you know what I mean? Till y'all started taking it overseas, I was there. It just, I'm just a fan. I mean, the way that even happened was I was doing a show in Boston at, like,